The exact year is unknown, but a hunting party of ancient Mayans track and kill a wild boar in the jungle. The leader of the party is Flint Sky, but his son, Jaguar Paw, hands out parts of the animal to the group, and each one accepts with great reverence. But Blunted, the clear outsider of the group, gets tricked by Jaguar Paw into eating the boar's testicles. They claim it'll make him fertile, but one bite has Blunted throwing the balls back up. As they make their way back to the village, the party comes across a wandering tribe. The tribe are starved and weakened, asking for passage through the area and nothing more. Jaguar Paw asks what happened, and the wanderers say that their village was decimated. He wants to ask more questions, but Flint Sky stops him and tells the wanderers to pass through. Jaguar Paw watches him go, clearly worried. Back in the village a little while later, Flint tells Jaguar not to be afraid of what he saw. Fear is a sickness that will infect as good as anything else. He tells Jaguar that tomorrow they'll discuss what to do about the wanderers, but for now, not to worry. The tribe is joyous in a peaceful place. As the hunters return, Blunted's mother-in-law scolds him for not being able to impregnate her daughter, much to the amusement of the rest of the tribe. Jaguar goes to his own pregnant wife, 7, so he can be with her. That night, the tribe sit about a fire as an elder tells them a story. After that, it's drinking and dancing and merriment. All is well in this peaceful part of the world. The next morning is where things take a turn for the worse, in the most terrible of ways. As the tribe sleeps, a band of Mayan warriors approach in secret. They encircle the tribe and attempt to sneak in and kidnap the sleeping people within. Of course, this doesn't go so well, and soon the tribe is alerted to the attack. This sends everyone into chaos as they try to flee and fight back against the attackers. Jaguar manages to get the pregnant wife and child out of the village. He takes them to a nearby hole in the ground, one well over 20 feet deep. He lowers them into the hole as the village behind him burns. While doing this, a warrior attacks and he's forced to fight him off while keeping his wife safe. Once she and the child are deep within the hole, he tells them to wait for him as he runs back into the village. There's no hope for the village. Huts are burned. Bodies litter the ground. Some are dead. Even more are tied up and bound. Now prisoners. Jaguar Paw finds Flint Sky fighting a warrior, Middle Eye, and hurries to intercept. He and Middle Eye exchange blows, but it looks as if Jaguar is going to overcome and even defeat him. Middle Eye is furious that Jaguar got the better of him and wants to kill him right now, but Zero Wolf won't let him. Instead, Middle Eye kills Jaguar Paw's father right in front of his eyes. Relishing in how much pain he's in, he tries to kill him, but Zero Wolf is too scared to do so. He's pretty damn vindictive, and breaks Jaguar Paw as one would expect. The people of the tribe are now prisoners. They're tied up together, forced to watch as the women of the tribe are assaulted and killed right in front of their eyes, including Blunted's own wife. As the warriors ready everyone to move, Jaguar looks back to the hole where he left his wife 7. She's yet to be discovered, but now that he's leaving, there's no way for her to escape. The warriors force the tribe to march through the forest. On the way, they meet up with another group of warriors, who are waiting with another group of prisoners. Jaguar sees that they were wanderers from the previous day, and now he understands what happened to the rest of their tribe. As they walk, Zero Wolf interacts with his own son, Cut Rock. He praises the boy for how he acted in the battle, and even gifts him with a special dagger, a sign that he's now a man. The journey's a hard one for the prisoners. With their hands bound and tied together, they're forced to march for days through the dangerous jungle. At one point, while walking along a cliff face, one group of prisoners almost fall off entirely. Middle Eye goads them and tries to encourage them to save themselves, like it's all a game. They're able to pull themselves back up, thanks mainly to Jaguar, but it was a close call. Even still, Middle Eye pushes the weakest of them off the cliff, just in case they didn't know how little their lives meant. Back in the hole, 7 and her child await Jaguar's return, but by now surely they know they're doomed. Getting closer to their destination, the prisoners come across large stretches of cleared land, with gigantic trees being chopped down as if they're nothing. The prisoners look at it all in wonder, having never seen such things. Soon they come across wasteland, where a young girl holds her dead mother. The warriors whisper that she's infected, and they have to keep away from her. They're forced to pass her, but she's not dangerous. She's just a little girl. The girl tries to go to them, but they push her back. She starts to laugh, telling them that their end is near. To fear the black sky, and the man who runs with the jaguar, he'll bring an end to them all. Clearly they're a little disturbed by this prophecy. They reach the Mayan city, and it's unlike anything the prisoners have ever seen before. The buildings alone shock them. Huge structures, bigger than any hut. But the people too. Thousands of them. Crowding the streets and hard at work. Still, this isn't a healthy society, and disease clearly runs rampant through the citizens. As the prisoners make their way through the streets, they eye the crowds, confused and perhaps even pitying them. This society is dying on their way through. The prisoners get painted in blue. From shoulder to foot, they pass some murals that show depictions of brutal sacrifices of people colored in blue. Jaguar eyes the murals, and Middle-Eye nods at him and laughs, all but admitting that soon this will be him. Before Jaguar has a chance to react, they're led into a new area. This area is centered around giant stone pyramids, painted red with stairs running up the center. Huge crowds gather around these pyramids, chanting and dancing in unison. At the top of the main pyramid are a group of men, and though it's hard to see what they're doing, there's no mistaking the headless body that tumbles down the steps. Jaguar sees it, the fear and knowing in his eyes evident. The prisoners get led up to the top of the pyramid, where a group of religious officials are gathered to address the crowd. The high priest calls out to the people, explaining how a plague has befallen the city, how it struck down the people and made them appear weak. But they're not weak, and to prove it, they're going to offer up some sacrifices to their great god. The people are cheering. The first sacrifice is horrific. They drag one of the prisoners onto the podium, lay him out flat, and then cut him open while he's alive. They tear his insides out and offer them to their god as a sacrifice before beheading the victim. They do this twice as Jaguar, blunted, and the others watch on in fear, knowing that they're next, and what's even worse, there's nothing they can do about it. When it's Jaguar's turn to be sacrificed, it looks as if it's over for him. He doesn't want to die, thinking that his time isn't done yet. And indeed, just before the knife plunges in, a solar eclipse occurs, which has the Mayan civilization freaking out over what it means. The high priest claims that it's a sign from their god, that he's satisfied with their sacrifices and has blessed them. Somehow, remarkably, Jaguar Paw's life is saved, but not for long. The remaining prisoners are taken to the outskirts of the city, onto a long open field. Beyond the field is the jungle. Blunted and another prisoner are untied and ordered to run into the jungle for their freedom. They do just that, only for the warriors to start firing arrows and throwing missiles at them. They try to dodge, but are quickly struck down, much to the delight of the warriors. Next, Jaguar and another prisoner are ordered to run. Cleverly, they zigzag as they make for freedom. They dodge those arrows, looking like they might escape when one hits the other prisoner in the face, and another strikes Jaguar in the side. The other prisoner is shot dead. He goes down, looking to be dead. Cut Rock steps in to finish him off with a blade, but is distracted by Blunted, who grabs a hold of his foot. This allows Jaguar to get a jump on him. He kills Cut Rock and flees into the jungle, embracing his stolen freedom. Zero Wolf watches on in horror as his son is struck down. In a rage, he commands his men to give chase to Jaguar, and, as a group, the warriors flee into the forest in pursuit of him. Jaguar is running for his life, but can hear the Mayan warriors chasing him, tracking him. Thinking quickly, he climbs a tree and hides in the brush until the Mayans pass, but as he hides, blood drips down from his wound and lands on one of the Mayan warriors' backs. They continue to run, until they realize they have lost his trail. Now angry and wondering what happened, they notice the blood on the warrior's back and realize Jaguar Paw has taken to the trees. Still hidden above, Jaguar Paw hears the cry of a baby jaguar from a nearby branch. He then widens his gaze and sees a fully grown jaguar in the tree, watching him. It snarls at him, and Jaguar Paw appears frozen in fear. Back on the ground, the warriors spread out as they search for him. One of them spots him, sprinting at full pace through the forest. They give chase, with one of the men charging out in front and getting closer and closer. Little do they realize that Jaguar Paw is also being chased by the jaguar, and when one of the warriors gets too close, the jaguar leaps and takes him down instead. Jaguar Paw flees deeper into the jungle. The warriors realize that the death of their friend is a sign that the little girl's omen is coming true. They fear that this means the end of them all, but Zero Wolf tells them to be quiet, that the words mean nothing, and that they must keep after Jaguar Paw. Back in the hole, Seven and her son listen as a pack of baboons fight one another overhead. One of the baboons falls into the hole, and Seven is forced to club it to death before it can harm them. The warriors continue to track Jaguar Paw. One of them finds blue markings on a tree, but as he shows the others, a snake lashes out and bites him on the neck, killing him. They leave the body and keep after Jaguar Paw. The warriors are closing in on him. He looks over his shoulder. Spotting them behind him, they fire arrows and throw javelins, missing him by inches. He runs for his life until he comes across a powerful waterfall. He's standing on the edge, looking at the crushing waters beneath. He then looks back, sees the warriors and knows he has no choice. With a final breath, he runs forward and throws himself off the waterfall, crashing into the depths below. The warriors assume him dead until his body surfaces. Jaguar Paw climbs to the shore, spots the warriors watching him from afar, and taunts them. He tells them that he is Jaguar Paw, and this is his jungle, that he knows it better than anyone else. He dares them to follow. Zero Wolf tells his men that they're going to jump, and one of them argues, so Zero cuts his throat without a word. He then commands his men to jump before throwing himself over. Jaguar flees back into the jungle, and as he does, he accidentally falls into a mud pit and nearly drowns. But as he's emerging, he collapses on his back, coated in thick mud, looking like it might be over for him. But then he realizes that it can't end here. His wife is waiting for him. He must be brave like his father told him, and so he pushes on. The warriors move through the jungle looking for Jaguar, when suddenly he appears before them. Still covered in mud, he carries a huge leaf folded above his head. They stare in wonder as he tosses the leaf toward them, revealing a hornet's nest. The nest explodes, and the hornets attack the warriors by the thousand, stinging and sending them into a frenzy. Then Jaguar tracks down a poisonous toad and coats 3 long thistles in its venom. He then marks a spot in the jungle and circles around so as to come up behind it. When the warriors find the marking, Jaguar shoots the thistles into one of the warriors' bodies, killing them on the spot. Middle Eye sees the dead body and goes to investigate. At the same time, Jaguar appears in the opening, across from Middle Eye. They stare at each other, and then charge. Middle Eye has an axe and swings it wildly at Jaguar. He ducks down, slides beneath the axe, taking only a minor graze, grabs another axe from the ground, brings it around, and slams it into Middle Eye's head, killing him. Finally, back in the hole, Seven tries to use a vine and a stick to create a grapple that she and her son can climb out with. She makes it halfway up before the stick snaps, and she crashes back down. Only then it starts to rain. The rain is torrential, and the way it's flowing has it all being directed straight into the hole. As the hole quickly starts to fill around their feet, Seven goes into labor, as if things weren't bad enough. Jaguar Paw runs through the forest, pursued now by Zero Wolf. He hears him coming, turns around and shoots an arrow right into his chest, dropping him. Jaguar gets back to his feet and goads Zero Wolf to charge, only for a trap to suddenly spring up and spear Zero right through the chest, the same trap that was used to hunt the boar earlier. He did warn him that it was his forest. Seven is close to death. As the hole fills around her, she's forced to stand on a rock to keep her head above water. And as she's doing this, she's also giving birth. We see the baby being born into the rising water. Jaguar Paw breaks out of the jungle and stumbles upon the ocean. The remaining 2 warriors are in close pursuit, but they all freeze, shocked to their core, as they look out to sea. There they see large conquistador ships anchored offshore, with smaller boats rowing toward the beach. The conquistadors are on these small boats, dressed in strange clothing. They have never seen anything like this before. The warriors are in shock and unable to move, and Jaguar Paw uses this moment to flee from the beach and make for his wife. He arrives just in time, pulling her and his 2 children from the watery depths to safety. Later, Jaguar Paw and Seven skirt the edges of the jungle. They can see the ships on the horizon, and she asks if they can go to them. Jaguar Paw says no, they should go to the jungle, to seek a new beginning. He is Jaguar Paw, and the jungle is his home.